The Cascade Mountain Range lines the upper half of the U.S. West Coast. These massive peaks, like Mount Rainier in Washington and Oregon's Mount Hood, represent some of America's greatest beauty. On the surface, that is. Underneath the rocky terrain lies destructive hot magma, because the Cascades are also active volcanoes.
But they've erupted before, and they will erupt again. And when they erupt, they will present a very real hazard to the people who live nearby.
This is also home to Mount St. Helens, the volcano that exploded violently in 1980. In minutes, the infamous eruption took the lives of 57 people, causing hundreds of millions of dollars in damage and destroyed every living thing within 230 square miles. Still a danger today, Mount St. Helens is considered the most active volcano in the Cascades. The eruption of Mount St. Helens in 1980 was a pivotal point in the science of volcanology. The massive explosion put volcano monitoring on the fast track. For example, at the time, there was only one volcano observatory in the entire U.S. Today, there are 5. They can be found in Yellowstone National Park, California, Alaska, Hawaii, and here in the Cascades.
Because St. Helens continued to erupt on and off until 1986, it became a laboratory for scientists and engineers to develop new instrumentation, to develop the computer software, the algorithms that could be used to automatically process the increasingly large amounts of data we were able to bring off the volcanoes.
John Ewart and his team gave CBN News an up-close look at the technology monitoring Mount St. Helens and the other 168 active U.S. volcanoes, of which more than half could be potentially explosive.
What these instruments allow us to do is to look at data in real time and get the data to our colleagues so we can build a more comprehensive view of what a volcano is doing during unrest.
Scientists examine 3 primary signs when forecasting eruptions. How much a volcano is shaking because of earthquakes or vibrations due to fluid, if it's swelling or changing shape because of magma pushing on its sides, and the amount and types of volcanic gases it's sending out.
It's important because ultimately volcanic gases drive volcanic eruptions. And so understanding volcanic gases is fundamental to understanding volcanic activity.
Today's equipment is much more sensitive to that activity and portable, allowing it to go where people cannot. Take, for instance, the Spider.
Well, it's really nice because we set it down with a helicopter so we can really get it close to a volcano where we have a really high signal without all the noise from towns and such.
That noise gets closer, however, as the deceptively picturesque scenery lures new residents, leading to the growth of area towns and population centers.
In the Cascades as a whole, the one that we worry about the most is Mount Rainier because of the number of people living in the valleys on the west side.
Look at all the homes pictured here at the base of Mount Rainier. If you think they're safe, think again. Geophysicist Andy Lockhart says an eruption can send deadly mud flows or lahars filled with rock, sand, and water at high speeds down the mountain across a great distance, destroying everything in their paths. He believes a lahar brought this massive boulder to its resting place 10 to 15 miles from Mount Hood near Portland, Oregon, after it last erupted around 200 years ago. Just across the street, a population center. Lockhart interprets this as a warning that what happened in the past can happen again.
I didn't see the eruption of St. Helens in 1980, but I was at the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1991. And it's just like having a hole blown in your world. It was just so much bigger and faster than anything I'd ever seen.
I'm here in the town of Government Camp, which is only about 5 miles from the summit of Mount Hood. When scientists determine the risk of a particular area, they most definitely consider developments like this, which are so close to the mountain.
Some of the highest threat volcanoes we have in the United States, actually the majority of the highest threat volcanoes. And that's because we have so many people and infrastructure nearby.
And that, according to Ewart, puts the pressure on for greater accuracy in predictions and also improved monitoring technology. Scientists also urge residents to consider potential hazards, even hidden ones, before choosing where they live. Mark Martin, CBN News, the Pacific Northwest.